We are live.
Good night, everybody. Happy Thursday.
Good night, everyone.
Good
Good night,
evening, everyone.
everyone.
Welcome.
Welcome. How's everybody doing? How was your week so far, guys?
How was yours?
Good. The week was good. Had some highs and lows, but for the most part, it was a quiet. I did a quiet week, trying to balance my mind and my life. It was good.
Awesome. Balance is important, my son. It's
I
hard
know.
sometimes, though. It's hard
I
sometimes.
I know. I know.
Mhm.
But it's good. Quiet time is good. Watch a lot of TV.
What about
You
you,
know,
Lucien?
My week has been extremely productive. I've started to get ready for this event I'm having next week. That hopefully we can live stream as well to bring the audience into the whole environment. If we still have United States, around after Tuesday.
Don't even speak that into the universe.
Shit, I'm
Lord.
just saying, man, they shutting down capitals, doing this, doing that.
Yep.
yeah,
So
yeah,
it's a
I
little
yeah.
even saw that they said there's all the Airbnbs had to cancel anybody who was coming there for whatever reason. They shut all the Airbnbs down in DC.
yeah, because they I mean, my thing is once again I mean, I've never experienced something like this ever in my life. You have an outgoing president trying to like start beef with it. I mean, it's just
It's petty. It's
it's getting at
petty.
it, and it gives we're the one who's always pushing the agenda of this is fair democracy and this and that and blah blah blah, and then here we are, you know, just making a puppy show of it. You know what I'm saying? So
Exactly.
I think we need to do as Americans have to do some internal, soul searching or something
Sure
because I
do.
think that's way, way, way off the charts.
It is. It
You know, I've
really
been
is.
I've been watching some stuff this week, and it was like they say ain't gonna get much better for. It started last year in 2020, and they're gonna continue more in 2021. It's just the wall. We have to go through these changes. It's time for change, and
Yes,
so
the
because of that, it's just a lot of volatility throughout the wall for the rest of the year.
well, hopefully not. I just think that more and more people have to wake up to the truths of the world, and the more that we wake up to it, I think the better the world's gonna be.
But
You
that's
know,
what's happening. That's exactly what's happening. The wall is opening up to the truths, and because of that, they're demanding change. That's why all black, all of we ain't talking about this last group, but that's what's going on. They're awakening.
so Danelle is gone.
Yeah. I
So
just
they're not, you know,
Oh, Louis will be on a little bit later, folks. He's celebrating his mom's birthday, so he'll be on in a little bit. I
yes.
know
yeah.
Liz
His
hasn't been
birthday was
on.
yesterday. Her birthday's today. So happy birthday
Yeah.
to them both.
So we know that most of you sign on for Louis, and we promise you he'll be back. So just don't log off, all right? He'll
Why
be
do you
back.
think they only sign on for Louis?
Just messing with you.
Team Louis. Look, if you Team Louis, throw some hearts up in the comments. If you Team Louis,
That's a good one.
throw some hearts up for Team. Show some love for your boy.
You know?
Well, we know we discussed our first topic last week on what is love. And today over the weekend, we made the decision to start talking a little bit about dating. We realize our audiences, we have married people in there, which we definitely want, and people who've been in long-term relationships, and we will definitely have topics to include you all as well, because for many people, that's the direction they want to ultimately get to. But tonight we're going to kind of discuss dating and are you ready to date? If you're not, why not? Questions like, What have you done to prepare yourself to date? Especially if you are being intentional about success of the dating. So anybody want to take the reign?
Lucian, I think that was you.
That was me. Oh,
Yeah.
right. I think you should say the last man for last. How about that? I mean, the only man for last.
I something else. I don't go fast because
Go
the last time I went last, I had to follow a tough act. So if I hit it out there, then I'll figure it out. Because I was like, really? I gotta say something after all of that. So this whole dating thing, when are we ready? When are you ready? And how and when or something like say it again, Debbie.
Well, number one, are you ready to date? What have you done to prepare yourself for dating? Because for many people, there's a healing process that really needs to take place if you really want to do intentional, healthy dating. What is dating for you? For some people, it means one thing. For other people, it means something else. So, just those kind of questions. Unless you want me to ask you a specific question.
No. I just, Patricia asked for us to clarify what dating is for us. Debbie said, it's different for different people. Sometimes it's getting to know someone. I've heard it explained as collecting data, dating, collecting data, because this is the stage in which you get to know someone, you have conversation with them. Debbie and Lucian love the question series of the dating. They like to ask questions, get to the bottom of who this person is, right? So, and you got to ask the most important questions at these times. But so that's basically what I have read about dating, right? My definition of dating is not that much different. Is getting to know someone, spending time with them, and some people believe in dating multiple people at the same time because you're getting to know people. That's an individual preference. For me, it probably gonna cloud my judgment. So that's not the path that I would want to take. But that's me. Whatever. But so it all depends on the individual. It all depends on the individual. When do we know we're ready to date? And I'm saying we because I just using a reference we. I feel like, okay, if you've been in relationships before, and it depends on how old you are, teenagers, these things vary. But depending on your age or where you are, what stage you are in life, are you ready to share your life with someone? Are you open to that possibility? And if you are, okay, where is that coming from? So that's how I would look at it, because a lot of times we don't want to be, we're afraid to be alone, or we just have so many different hangs up. If you come out of a marriage, you came out of you get a divorce or whatever your situation is. I was a widow. People, you and then you decide if you're moving into that stage, if you're ready to open your life to someone, so you're getting to know them. But did you heal from that past? So this is a question you have to ask yourself. Am I ready? Why are you ready? Are you ready just because you don't like being alone? Are you ready because you really truly want to spend your life with somebody? So it depends on different factors. I done.
That was well said, Miss Pinky.
Really? Thank you. I don't know
Yeah,
what
it
I
was.
said.
It was.
Thank you.
I want to kind of like touch on something that came into play online. I think it was yesterday in our comments and stuff. And I'm gonna bring it full circle. So when I start talking to somebody, like I ask them like 1,000,001 questions because I want to get to the root of who you are. A lot of times people want to place the blame on the other individual because of them, like 4 or 5 months down the line, or 6, or even 2, 3 years down the line, they learn who this person truly is. My thing with that is this is the investigative segment of the relationship. This is time for you to be like, you know what? Why did you and your ex break up? What was the reason? Now you ask that question one time, and then of course a few months later you ask the question again because you want to see if the answer has shifted. You know, people think that dating is just like, oh, I meet this person, I like them, they're beautiful, and then all of a sudden y'all just fall into this magical Disney relationship. It don't work that way. You know, people will lie to you, people will keep stuff from you,
Oh,
people
they
will have,
lie.
you
Oh,
know,
they lie.
you know what I'm saying? So then my thing is like you as a person that wants to protect yourself are going to do as much research on that person as possible. You see, I'm saying, Croy, it's a good and a bad thing. I could go to my partner like, hey, are you here about Danella? She looking kind of sexy. I want to see what going on with she. You know what I'm saying? Well, you know, she been with Jojo up the street, and Jojo telling me that you know she breaky hat and this and that. You know what I'm saying? So you get like, okay, so let me go and ask one of Jojo them friends though, why? You know what I'm saying? So you have that way of finding out about people indirectly. In the States, you can forget about that. You know, it's just like pretty much hit or miss. And then you end up dating people who are broken. And you don't realize this until like later on in the relationship, you
Well,
know.
I think the St. Croix thing could be a blessing and a curse. It's
Right.
a
I
blessing
agree.
because you can tap in, like Lucian said, you could tap in and you could kind of cut down on time and figure out who somebody is. The problem is when people grow and when people change, that
Exactly.
change is not identified or accepted or embraced by people. And so you remain the person that you were 2 years ago,
Exactly.
5 years ago, 10 years ago,
Right,
which is
right,
also a
Exactly.
problem, you know?
right.
So,
Exactly. And piggybacking on what you're saying pertaining to that, you know, and the person who I was yesterday might not be the person that I am today. And the thing about it too is like, and women don't understand this, and some guys don't understand this as well, is like a person will change if they want to change.
oh
You know what I'm
Lord, say it
saying?
Mhm.
again for the people in the back. Say it again, Lucy.
A person a person will change if they want to change. You know what I'm saying? The same person for you that was like, oh my God, he was horrible and this and that, to the next person will be like, wow, this dude was amazing. You know. So I think to sit down and continuously blame like others for your relationships and what you've been through, I think it's kind of like a cop out sometimes. Because the main thing about that is like you have the opportunity to do your due diligence in investigating this person, and if they don't want to answer a question, why they don't want to answer the question? Come back to it. You know what I'm saying? Because my main thing is like, is you trying to see if your heart is going to be broken or not. And I think that that's worth the time and the investment. Definitely. I just missed the whole question. Right? I don't know what to say.
No, no. I mean, that was just your take on the whole on dating.
Yeah.
Well, part of dating.
And also,
Danelle, go ahead. Go
wait,
ahead.
one more thing too. Sex and dating. Yes,
Lisa, you
I
cut
said,
out. I didn't hear you.
oh, you didn't hear that? Sex and dating for the
What's
women.
that? I'm just kidding, guys. I'm having a good time tonight. Just love
Yeah.
me.
So it's like an investment. You know what I'm saying? Do you want to invest in this person? Has this person passed all your tests? Do you feel comfortable with this person? And you feel that, hey, I truly believe that this person is worth it. Remember, females, y'all have the power. Y'all have the power. We could try to get sex from you all we want, unless we force ourselves on you. You could always say no. So this is your time and this is your place to have the power in a relationship. If you're not sure about the person, don't sleep with them. Hold on to that power. Hold
That's
on to it.
powerful. That's really
It is.
powerful.
It is.
Uncle Lucian down the loose tonight. Okay, Uncle Lucian.
But coming from a man, for a man, because I've heard women, talk to the sisters and be like, you got the power, hold on, the power to pee. Y'all know what we're talking about, okay? We
I
hold the
read the
power.
book.
You read it?
You read the book?
She
I
bought the
read
book
the
for me too.
I read some of it, not the whole thing. I think I got everything summed up in like the first chapter. I got it. Like between the
I
forward and the first chapter, I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I got it.
I think you did. It
Yep.
wasn't. Yeah, it was kind
Yeah.
of yeah.
But to hear it from a guy, from somebody who's, well, I wouldn't. Yeah. To hear it from a guy, it reiterates that fact that we do have the power, and he's kind of pleading with us, like, come on, guys, let's reverse this thing. Because at the end of the day, I think a man does want a strong woman. And just hearing it
Yeah.
from guys, yeah, we feel like, men want us to give it up easily. But honestly, men want to chase. They want to chase, whether it be sexually or whether it be in a relationship or in dating. Even in dating, sometimes I feel, and I'm not a dater because I don't really know how to date, but even in that process, I feel like we give away so much information so quickly, and there's an art to the thing. There's a art, and there's a dance. There's a rhythm to getting to know somebody. There's a mystery about somebody trying to know a woman, and a woman trying to figure out and to uncover who that man is. It's a mystery. It should be a song and dance, a mystery. And I think we lose a lot of that mystique because we're so eager to jump in and have our lists and be like, okay, let me ask you number 2. Now, I do think that those things are important, especially at this stage in life. We need to have a list, but we have to learn the arts form. So I don't
Yeah,
know.
I don't like of course you have to ask questions. You have to, but I don't really like that. It's like an interview. I don't like it. And I don't want nobody pressing me with a whole heap of questions
I know,
either.
me either. Me
So,
either.
so maybe that's why I don't like all of that. Again, you have to ask questions, right? But I think there's like what you said, Danelle, it's you getting to know someone. So you have to listen to what it's saying. You have to pay attention to them. You pay attention to their body language. I think when we make it so, maybe, I don't know what's the word.
Contrived.
Maybe
Technical, structured.
structured, organized, it takes the humanness out of it, I hear what you're saying, Lucian, but Debbie, you gotta go ahead. I'm gonna address that sex thing in a minute, but Debbie, or 5 minutes or whatever.
Let me
Yeah.
piggyback on Pinky real quick. The thing about that is also, I mean, I'm not saying like, hey, you ask like a million questions one time. My thing is just like as certain things arise, like you ask some questions.
Oh yeah.
I'm not saying that you're supposed to just like attack them with questions. It's like you talk to them. I mean, I know people them who's be on the phone for hours talking. The more you talk to somebody, is the more like you can feel their energy. The more you can kind of like gauge who they are. If a person is not willing to invest time in you in the beginning, do you think that person is gonna have time to invest in you in the end, or while y'all get together? No, that's already a telltale sign. You didn't have to even ask the question. You see it for yourself. Oh, I'm busy. I'm busy. Okay, fine. So when y'all together, they gonna still be busy. It's not gonna change. So it's more than just asking the question, but just paying attention really and truly. Don't go
Um,
into things them like blindsided and then like allowing them to like weave this dream into your head and you're just like, oh yes, boom, and then bam, then you're vexed. My name is Dad. You know what I'm saying?
True.
But then
But
it's like, go ahead.
I
yeah,
don't know.
I just wanted to say something 1 second.
Mhm.
Patricia had said when we started, does dating equal expectations for a potential relationship? One of the things I've learned, and I listened to TD Jakes, I listened to several people talk about this. When we go into dating with expectations, we're gonna have problems. And that's one of the things I think we have to seriously work on because everybody is different. And of course, you have an idea or a vision for what you want or where you think this is going, but we really need to focus less on expectations, because expectations is going to create disappointment. And
What do you
that's
mean by
across the board.
expectations? Is expectations different from uh values or things that deal breakers? Like, what is that?
I
Because I
think
think
what
everybody
we're,
should have some type of expectation or
but I mean,
vision, right?
but I don't even think it's expectation. I think it's like, and she's saying expectations for a potential relationship. Again, what are you going in the dating realm for? Are you going because you just want someone on your arm? Are you going because you potentially want to be in a long-term relationship or marriage? um that's different, because that's about discussing where this is going to go eventually, and that's the mature thing to do. Because honestly, if I'm thinking one thing and you're thinking another, and then it doesn't work out, of course we have problems. Again, that's where asking questions is important, because you you have to know these things from the jump. Because I might be thinking dating because I want to get married. You might be thinking dating because you just want someone to spend time with. You know what I'm saying? So, but to me, expectations is what you're expecting this person to do for you or bring to the table or whatever, because we're human and we're going to fall short. That's just a fact of life. But I do think we do have to have clear conversations about where, and this is if you are seriously wanting to have a healthy relationship. Because I think at the end of the day, a lot of us just, you go out with your friends, somebody meets you, start talking, you've never even thought about, do I want to date? And then here you go jumping into something, and right there it starts problems, basically, because you never even thought this through. It's sort of like, again, I go back to my when everybody laughs about my non-negotiables. For me, I am not someone that's a serial dater. I don't like, or dating multiple people at the same time. I don't like doing that. But for some people they can, you know. For me, with my non-negotiables, because my thing is I'm dating to be in a long-term relationship with someone, and there's just certain things I know I need. That's not necessarily something I share with the person. That's something I need for, again, for my guidance. So again, dating for everybody is going to be different. But again, are you doing this because you just want someone to lay up with, watch TV, Netflix, go movies, go dinner? Or is this something that you want? And I think people need to like intentionally think about what it is they're going into the dating realm for. You're saying something,
And
Danelle?
you know what? I'm glad that you said the I'm glad you mentioned conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like I think a lot of times people think that if you're a person that your love language is communication or whatever, I don't know what the terminology was or whatever. But the whole thing about it is like if that's important to you and you can't sit down and have a conversation with somebody while you're dating, you already know from the get go. Once again, it's like these telltale signs that you can see already that you don't want for yourself. So why would you still go through the whole process? You know, if this person can't converse with you about themselves and about what they want and what they expect, then why are you wasting time with them? I think at this point in our lives, we have to be more like emotionally mature. As in the sense that we need to approach things on a higher level of, like when we're younger, like, yeah, you like me? Yeah, I like you too. Okay, we did together. You know what I'm saying? And then you find out throughout the years now, like, wow, how I did with this pause. You know what I'm saying? But the thing about it now is after you bump your head like 2 or 3 times, you should have been like, you know what? I'm going to try to do this differently this time. I'm going to approach this differently this time. If you keep on getting the same results over and over again, that means that the common denominator is you. So I know we posted today about can you take responsibility in a relationship that failed if you had something to do with it? I mean, even though it wasn't, just go back and look at the post. But anyway, but my thing is just like, and I was so happy to see that people actually was like, yeah, I can sit back and say, I can see what I did wrong in a relationship. A lot of people can't do that. They will continuously blame the other person, like this and that, this and that. But then, didn't you see this person's behavioral patterns? You know what I'm
But
saying?
you know, I see what you're saying, Lucian, but and I was just reading what Cyril said, and it makes sense. Like, relationships are changing. We are changing. Like,
True.
and I see where the expectation part come in because, I mean, you should have some kind of, I don't know if to equate expectations with intentions. I don't know. But I think you should have some idea what you're looking for. And maybe in the beginning, you're just looking, every relationship is different for every human being because that's dating or couple. You might just be going on a date because you want to even know. For me, when I went on my first date, after years, it was to know if I could even go on a damn date. Like if I was even ready to date. It wasn't looking for long term. It wasn't looking for marriage. It wasn't looking for none of them things. It was like, Pinky, are you ready to take that step forward to date? Then the next time it was like, okay, it was a while. Are you ready to go on a date with somebody else to talk to someone? So to me, it is. Sorry, ask a question.
Go ahead.
No, so I was saying, like, to me, for the individual, I hear what you're saying about the questions and all of that. Yeah, I get it. I get it. But I always said we have to trust, we have to get to that place in our life where we get to pay attention to what's going on around us. Like we could sit down and we could ask 100 questions and all of them could be a damn lie. Every last one of them could be a lie.
Yeah, but Pinky, the questions, the thing is, I think what people get messed up is you're not just asking a question to ask, what's your favorite color? You're not just asking a question to ask. These need to be intentional questions because these need to be questions that kind of can lead you into who this person is, who their heart is, who their family is. It has to be intentional questions. It can't just be.
I think because I wasn't dating for like the long term, because people have had the experience. Debbie, you had the experience where people you knew that you wanted a long term relationship or whatever, and the people then would say that they were interested in marriage, they were interested in the things that you said because they know that's what you were interested in, so they say it back to you, but they wasn't actually interested in it. So that's why I just saying, like at the end of it. I hear what you're saying. We do have to ask questions. You gotta ask what your name is, where you're from, like how old are you? You gotta ask questions. There's no way you ain't gonna ask questions. But what I'm saying is, we have to get to a place where we trust our instincts, where we trust that spirit that's in us, and where we have faith to pay attention to what's going on in front of you, and then you make decisions based on that. I mean, me and Vincent had dated for a whole year when we were younger. We were dated for a whole year, and we waited for a whole year before we even had sex.
And how long were you with Vincent?
I was with Vincent for 30 years.
That's a long time. So do you think that time of you waiting for over a year, like, gave you like more of a sense of who he was?
No. Then we move on.
People are ever evolving. Yes.
People are ever evolving and people gonna hide what they want. I mean, I was married for 10 years and there was a whole lot of things I didn't know. To be quite honest, 25 years were up and I still didn't know. So whatever, so that's what I'm saying. Based on my experience, what I am saying is, I mean, one of the things was Vincent tell me his age and he lied. It was a whole year later I find out his age because his birthday and I were wishing he happy 18. And he was like, no, I was wishing he happy 19 and he had just turned 18. A whole year later and I was wishing it, and then he was like, it won't adding up how we were responding. And then it finally come out he was 18. He had just met 18. So
let me ask you a question.
How was that?
So let me ask you a question.
Vincent, I was only 8 months older than Vincent.
So was that not like a red flag to you?
No, because in his mind, the number didn't make a difference. He said it was only 1 year. It didn't make a difference.
So that wasn't a red flag to you.
No, it really
Okay.
wasn't.
So you see that? You see that right there?
And again, Lucian,
Listen.
we're 18 years old. So 18 years old versus 50 is two different things, you know?
Exactly. So the thing
So
about it too. So then now, if you're 50, right, and somebody now comes and tells you the same thing, would you still date that person?
I don't know. People that lie every day about their age. Some people said they're still in their 30s when they're not. I don't know what to tell you about that.
No, but what I'm saying is this, Pinky. If historically you've seen how your relationship played out because the person lied to you at the beginning,
That's what I'm saying. So for
right?
me,
Then why
historically,
now?
how it plays out is people don't
Right.
always tell you the truth. Pay attention.
Exactly. So then why now, after you've seen that the person lied to you, would you still, I mean, like somebody in your 50s lied to you, would you still date them? You let that shit
I'm
go?
not saying I would. I'm not saying I would. All I'm saying is people that tell you what they want. No, you don't change it to something else, Lucy.
But
How
wait,
you get over there?
wait. 1 second. 1 second. We have a lot of comments. I want to.
Women that lie about their age, especially at a certain age, we're not telling men how old we are. So I don't know what to tell you about that. Go ahead, Debbie.
I want to read some of the comments. Of course, they're much later than what we're talking. So, Odette said she talked about the 90-day rule. Grantley said, facts, Danelle, nothing that is good comes easy. I think that was in terms of the sex talk. Norma agreed with Danelle as well. Grantley said, yes, Lucy, and facts. Odette said there should be some core values that you won't settle for anyone. That should be addressed from the start so time is not wasted. Grantley said expectations is the mother of all mess ups. Nilomi said, yes, everyone should have some expectations. However, it shouldn't be on the top of your list because at some point you will be disappointed. Cece said, is it fair to say that relationships evolve? As it does, there is a constant discourse, negotiation of what is needed or wanted as the relationship evolves. This is why communication is essential. He also said it obviously made a difference to him. If not, why lie? I think he was talking about Vincent's comment. And then Nilomi said, that's why I asked my husband to look at his ID on our second date because I didn't believe his age. So
That was smart.
yeah. But I mean, again, I think we just have to do more intentional dating. Because, and again, be honest. People need to be honest. I think that's a big thing too. People have agendas and they're trying to push their agendas on other people. And it's like, those are the things that are going to end up causing problems later on. And I mean, we're talking about dating at this point in life, but even looking back, I got married to the person I was dating at 16. I didn't get married at 16. I was dating him at 16. And I saw all kind of signs, but I was at the point in my life where I figured, people gonna change. They're gonna get older, they're gonna mature. That doesn't always happen. But one of the questions I wanted was, Danelle, I know that at this point, I hope that I'm not saying something out of turn. At this point in your life right now, you're not currently dating.
No.
What is the reason why you've chosen not to at this point?
It's a choice, but it's also by default because I guess one of the questions that I wanted to ask was, from somebody who's never really dated, so I'm listening to all these conversations. I don't even know exactly what that means. What does dating mean? Because I never had that experience. You know what I'm saying? Like you meet somebody because maybe you're introduced by your friends or whatever. You have a couple conversations, you like hanging out together, you get to know each other and then you end up in a relationship. That's been my life story. Okay. I just end up in relationships. I don't really vet people like that. We vibe.
And she's gone. And she's back.
I think I think the internet at
Yeah,
home
I think
acting up.
I'm messing up.
Yeah.
Well, let's continue. What you asking, Debbie?
Um, I was actually looking up what the word, what what is dating. It says dating is a stage of romantic relationships in humans whereby two people meet socially. Actually, let me bring Danelle. Danelle, let me just say this quickly. I looked up dating, right? And the definition says dating is a stage of romantic relationships in humans whereby two people meet socially with the aim of each assessing the other's suitability as a prospective partner in an intimate relationship. It is a form of courtship consisting of social activities done by the couple, either alone or with others.
Okay, so I guess I have dated. um, on here on St. Croix, my experience has been that I could say for the last 10 years of my life or more, no one has ever approached me about dating. No one has, I mean, it happens for other females, but for me in particular, like I don't get that opportunity to have someone approach me and say, hey, you know, I'm interested. I'd like to take you to dinner. I'd like to get to know you better. Like I have not gotten that in years. So I just go about my day. What do you do? You know, I'm not the aggressive female. I'm not the one that ever initiates or pursues a guy. So for somebody like me, I'm just here waiting around. Well, I'm not really waiting. You know, I'm occupied with everything else, but I'm not going to approach a guy even if I like him. It's just my nature, guys. I'm very shy. People don't believe that, but I'm a very shy person. As I would never approach a guy and be like, "Hey, you know, I like you. Hey, why don't we go to dinner?" Never. It will never happen.
But you know why, Danielle? Let me just interrupt you for a quick second. Sorry, hold that train of thought.
Hmm.
I think that a lot of times, like down here, people are intimidated by like certain women. You know, you're taller, you're good looking. You know, a lot of guys are very intimidated by that.
I
You
don't
know what I'm
see.
saying? Especially if you have like something going on, they'll watch you all day and like, wow, she looks sweet. Yeah, me and blah blah blah, but they won't come and talk to you.
Maybe because
You
they're
know, like
hitched. Maybe because they got a woman.
some of
Right?
them, some of them. But at the same token, a lot of guys are very intimidated by strong women. Down here, I've noticed that. Like they will watch you all day. Like, wow, I like to see she, yeah, but they won't approach you. They won't approach
It's
you.
the weirdest thing. Sometimes you even second guess. You question. You're like, wait, am I not attractive anymore? Like, you know,
Exactly,
Wow.
I'm every
exactly.
day
But
I go about and I'm like, wait, what's going on? And of course, I know
yeah,
who I am. You know, I feel good about myself. But at this point in my life, I just kind of like, this is weird because I mean, you
Well,
see and
but
you
you think it's because St. Croix, we kind of know each other, and so they wouldn't approach you because they don't know you.
nah,
But if
it's
they
just
know you through somebody, it might happen.
well, it's two phases. So you gotta think about it this way. When you look at certain females, they be like, you know what? I know she ain't gonna pop up my bullshit, so me ain't even gonna approach she. Then it's the one them like, you know what? I think that she way outside of my league. You know what I'm saying? You gotta think about like the demographic. You know what I'm saying? Whereas
I think that's crazy because even like sometimes I look back on my track record and I'm like, if I'm all of that, which I think I am, but if from somebody from the outside, if you inquire about me and you look at the little track record, you'd be like, oh well, she don't aim too high sometimes, you know what I mean? Like this one don't aim too high sometimes. So it's like, you know what I mean? I'm a down sister,
yeah,
but
but
it's all good. I
But
understand God's bigger plan and all that stuff. So I
exactly,
get it.
and Danelle, you know how I feel about energy.
Yeah.
You have said to yourself at this stage,
Yes.
working on me, I'm working on my
I
business.
have. I
Of
have.
course, there's COVID-19 going on. I think I think because you're not giving off that energy, because at this stage you are well with how things are. I think when
Yeah.
you decide that I am ready and I'm here, and then again, we're not going to necessarily touch on it here, but I have my religious beliefs. You do. Um, and I think that God knows your heart. And right now,
Yeah.
if He's preparing you for the right person, You have to get your mind right. You have to be right. You also have to have discernment that when the wrong person comes, you know that's the wrong person. So I
Well, I'll
think there's
tell
a
you
lot of
what.
stuff going on.
I know on this show tonight, I wasn't expecting this because, we talk about this all the time, and we were on last night having this similar conversation. And just now on the show, when you guys were talking about the whole topic of dating, I started to freak out. I almost break out in a cold sweat just now. And I just texted Lucy and I was like, yo, I don't know why this topic has me scared. And so even in this
Mm,
moment, literally,
mm,
guys, I wasn't.
mm, mm. That means that
What's
could
that?
actually mean that you ain't ready.
I had a moment just now, and so
Mhm.
I started thinking about a lot of different things, and I almost felt like little Danelle. And I also started thinking about my daughter, who is now getting older. She's 12. And just thinking about things like, if somebody were to come into my life right now, the little beautiful thing that we have going on right now in this house with me and her, that gets disrupted. And
And yes,
I'm not ready for that. I have tears in my eyes. I'm fighting back right now. I don't think
that's
I'm ready
that's
for that.
that is it. That is what I'm talking about when I said tune in to what you feel. Because it's what you feel is going to tell you if you are ready to move forward.
Right.
And then it will tell you also when you meet that person, you will feel whatever it is you need to feel from that person, because it took me years before I went on a date. Years, Danelle, years. And I will not
All
go.
right,
And
then.
people were like, well, why wouldn't you go? You're a beautiful woman. You should. I remember, I don't know, me and one friend, I think it was Debbie. I was like, I am that. I don't like kissing frogs. Okay. You know that I say you gotta kiss a heap of frogs before you reach a
Yeah.
prince? I said, I ain't kissing no frogs because number one, they slimy and they gross. And that's number two, you don't get what? I ain't kissing no frogs. I ain't in the mood for that. You know? It and people did advise me, go date people in the chat. Look, I remember this one guy was like, he was like, when you feel better, I'm gonna take you out to dinner, and just my feeling did not give it. It just I have a feeling inside. I was like,
Yes.
my feeling, my spirit ain't giving for it. I ain't going. So what I'm saying is, you will know when you're ready. You ain't ready, honey.
She's not ready, because when Danelle is ready, the person will
You
show
don't
up.
know.
Trust in me.
And
My
you will know.
Nicole said that's why I keep saying after 40, I'll look for it. I'm focused on my son and my career. It's because you're not ready for this step as yet, Danelle. Everything in its time. Karita said, subject of dating doesn't give me fear, but a cautious pause.
Greeny.
She said that's exactly how Nicole again said that's exactly how she's feeling. Patricia Swan said the right person would not disrupt but add to your life. And again, when you're ready, the person will show up. But right now, we have conversation all the time. So I know right now you're working on Danelle. So, and
And
that's one
and
of the
that's important.
it is important. And that's what a lot of people have to be in tune with themselves to understand, because you might think, again, why do you want to date? Because I think a lot of people do it just because you go out somewhere, somebody approach you, start talking, and then you decide, okay, I'm going to go ahead and date this person or get to know this person, but you really weren't even ready. So then that in of itself is going to cause problems, because you didn't even think about wanting to date. Now because somebody approached you, now all of a sudden you want to date, that's going to be
And
problems.
and the thing about it too, Danelle, a handsome man or a rich man or whatever may come up, and you be like, oh, okay. This is the things you have to look at to prepare. You have to prepare yourself. And I'm quite sure Yolanda in the church, you talk about it. We had this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Women have to prepare themselves for that time, that meeting time when she is going to meet
and
the
and I am
man.
and I am totally aware of that, and so I can't have I can't be out there entertaining a lot of people. I can't be prospecting, because with what I believe, God handpicks that person for me. That's my belief system. I've handpicked for years, and I have done a horrible job. And so I am at the point in my life where I surrender to God, and I will allow God, because of my faith and because of what I believe and because of the relationship I have with God. I trust God that much that he's gonna handpick that person for me. And so
That's
in
why
this
he hasn't
season, that's
showed
why I
up.
just feel like I can't even contribute to this. That's why,
No,
because
but
God's
you
still working
can
on me.
contribute.
And
You are contributing to this because at the end of the day, everybody isn't at that stage. Everybody doesn't want to date. For whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? They're still working on themselves. They're working on their business. They're working on their family. They're working with their children. I mean, so you represent a whole facet of people who aren't ready. You know what I'm saying? So you are contributing. Trust me, you are contributing. Let me say something. Grantley said, I think in light of what Lucian was saying about a strong independent woman. Lucian, you're right about some of us guys. I'm different. I love strong Black women, women that are doing things and holding it down is what I like. A relationship should be a balance and not one-sided. Um, Cynthia said, "Do you know how many sisters who are catches who are in their 40s, 50s, and 60s and so on who are still waiting? What
yep.
happens when you are ready?" Nicole's saying right now thinking about a relationship makes her nervous as well.
Yeah,
Okay.
Nicole.
So
Girl.
she said, speak it and preach it. So again, even this question, because the question was, are you ready? Some people are, some people are not. Some people are already in a relationship. Some people are starting to date after marriage. Some people are dating after, after divorce. Some people are dating, whatever, you know what I'm saying? So everybody has something to bring to this conversation because I think, again, at the end of the day, my comment is always we're at this stage in our life, but we got young people watching, we got our children watching, and for them to also have healthy dating experiences, we need to have a conversation with them. It isn't about like what Lucian said. Somebody said, I like you. I like you. But you know nothing about the person. You don't even know what dating is all about. You don't even know, what I'm saying, what your boundaries are, all that kind of stuff. And I think it starts from back then because even like we kind of were saying, I was 16, dated my ex for 4 years, a little over 4 years. There were so many red flags, and I still went ahead and got married. There were so many red flags, and I still stayed in the marriage for 25 years. So, um, if we're going to create a legacy of better, healthier relationships and decisions, we have to have the conversation. Because I think at a lot of time we just do it, but we don't even think about what we're doing or how we're doing it and why we're doing it. So, Lucian, you were saying something?
Yeah, I'm glad that you spoke on like legacies and looking at how we approach relationships, especially if kids are involved. I think that a lot of people like they go about it selfishly and they don't think like how Danelle is thinking. It's about my happiness, but then not how it's going to affect my child. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's like the biggest issue that we're having now with raising children, because then if some of them get very rebellious because they feel like they're not getting the attention that they're used to getting. And that causes a lot of like, backlash within the community because these kids go out, they join gangs, they do different crazy shit because they want that attention from somebody. So I know we had a discussion about like, the females in the community, like having more control over their boyfriends and different things when it comes to them dealing with gangs. Remember, and we had that discussion. I think it was Sunday or something.
It was last
Because
night, I think. We talked
it was
about that last night. I
Mm-hmm.
think
okay.
so.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Yeah, because the thing about it too is just like you need to have somebody that you can depend on. That's the next thing too about like being in a relationship. People like they're with people and you can't say that they even trust you enough to do certain things or tell you certain things. Like to me, I've known married couples who like one don't know what the next one doing. They're hiding information from each other, and I'm just like, this is supposed to be your best friend. This is supposed to be the person who you you can count on if like you're in the hospital and you dying. That person can be like, yeah, pull the plug and cheat a man. You know what I'm saying? Like, like, yo,
For
hold
real.
on, she still got some kind of brain pattern. Let's see what's going on because me and why she to go no place. You understand? And that's the kind of relationship that you want. Not somebody like, wow, dude, she had that shit. Pull up plug where we go, boss. You
Hmm.
know. So I think that it's just more than it's about like having like your best friend. Somebody you could talk to, somebody you could be real with. You know. Yeah, real with at all costs, man, and that's how you build. Because the more you trust somebody, is the more you're going to open up to them. Men, we have a problem with being vulnerable because we were taught not to be vulnerable. So it's difficult for us to like open up. So if we do open up and share ourselves with a person, and then that person stab us in the back for some particular reason, then that shit might just sail and never open up again. So there's a lot to deal with when it comes to it's a lot of moving parts to
Mhm.
deal with relationships. Just like no right way, no wrong way, but it's just coming together, understanding each other.
Correct. Tina, you were saying something?
About, I forgot.
Well, while you guys are thinking about it, Lucian just brought up a topic, so I guess I will introduce it. What we were talking about last night. I can't remember what it stemmed from, but we were having a conversation, and one of the things that I said, well, Lucian said that women have so much more power than they know, right? So us as women, we really hold a key. Why am I hearing a feedback? I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah.
I didn't do anything. Let me turn it down. So pretty much we hold the key. And so that means that we can change the direction or change the course of things in terms of men and women dating, uh, the affairs of people courting and whatnot, right? We got it up our hand as women, long story short. So I was even saying that, it's so true. I said we could even clean up the streets if we wanted to. Right here on St. Croix, we as women, if we talk to the younger generation and those younger girls, that are dating the guys that are gang banging, all the gangster them and stuff like that, there, and if we get serious and we say that we're gonna withhold certain things from these men until they get it together, we could turn things around. It might not happen in a year, it mightn't happen in 2 years, but in time, if we change the mindset and realize that we have the power, and if this young guy right here is not moving correctly, and if he's not doing what he's supposed to be doing, then we're gonna withhold. We're gonna say, nope, you don't qualify. You don't qualify. I'm gonna go without the D. It's okay, I'll survive, and I'm gonna move on. I'm willing to let the other girl have him. It's okay, we ain't gotta fight no more. You can have me because he ain't coming correctly, and we could clean up the streets. That's my little theory. I think it can happen.
And I
Uh,
agree with that theory. I do because my thing is a lot of these guys, like, and these girls. I mean, I remember how young love used to be. I mean, to me, young love was like the most purest form of it. It was naive, and I think that's what made it so pure. Because I mean, imagine like you like this person like you back for the first time, and you have this emotional connection for the first time. It's so pure. So if you and this person are together, and that person know that what they're doing will risk losing you, they might go on bad and this and that. But once that heart start to like, you know, wow, she gone for real, you
Mm.
start to think differently. You start to move differently.
it's true.
And
And
that's one, actually, Lucian, that's one of the conversations and we've had this conversation a couple times. Um, like Danelle said, I've heard things like that from women, but hearing it from you guys, just like it was like the stamp, the seal that wow, we really do not understand how powerful we are. We really don't understand that we really control the direction certain things go. And once we start to understand that, and again, I see, I don't know your first name, but his RJ Herbert, he said Danelle Lang. I've been preaching that to many of my female friends. Y'all have the power. And I appreciate, but I'm serious, but it's so funny. It wasn't until we started having these sidebar conversations and hearing you and Louis and Army talking about that. I really honestly never thought about, wow, we really have
but,
the power.
but
Wow.
you know
We
what it
do.
is? it in a male dominated society, you know, it's just brainwashing, man. Like, and I realize this too because on my when I'm on my Instagram, right, I see a bunch of these videos with girls them shaking their ass, right, and I'm just like, beforehand it was like, yeah, yeah, look at that, yeah, and then I was just like, it's just such a turn off, the man, because my thing is these are beautiful women, right, and it's like you could be doing so much more, and I understand the theory that sex sells, but I'm just like, you could do so much more, the man. It's not even appealing to me anymore. You check? When I was younger, yeah, you go strip club, this and that, but then you start thinking like, this is so this is just women exploiting themselves. You know, once again, that's just my point of view. I'm not saying that's how it is. Disclaimer: it is not. I'm not saying that's what it is. I'm just saying, from my perspective, as being more mature and understanding and seeing things to a different lens. That's how I say it. You know, women have a lot of power, and because of our male-dominated society, you know, it's kind of been like brainwashed out of y'all. Because I remember when I was younger,
I
and go ahead, Dana.
no finish your point, Lucian. Finish.
Yeah, because when I was younger, it was just like a girl say no, you just gotta be like, okay, fine. A girl that want to date you, well, okay, fine. And you sit down and mope around for a little bit, then you get over it. Now it's just like you say no, fine, I go down the street. You say no, fine, I go down the street. You say yes, let's go. You know what I'm saying? So it shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be like that. Especially
I
where like
I think. Sorry, I have a horrible delay or something. I keep on cutting
no,
me
go
off,
ahead, go
but
ahead, go
I
ahead, go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
apologize.
Go ahead.
I feel also though here's a flip side to being a strong woman is that especially one who's very intellectually aware and conscious of what's going on. We are very aware as well that yes, we may have standards and values and all of these things, but guess what? The time is ticking, tick, 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 tick. So the more you hold on to your little values, the more you remain strong and put on your foot and be like, I ain't accepting this. The likelihood of you remaining single for the rest of your life is like a reality. And it's a scary reality for some. And some have no children. I know people who are in their 40s, year after year, no children, no relationship. No children, no relationship. So after a while, I think what happens to some people is that they just give up and they just break down. And they just like, man, let me just grab something, okay? So I don't have to get old by myself. Let me just grab something and I think that's what happens sometimes. 'Cause all these morals and values in a society where morals and values seem to be declining every day, like
But
where
you
does
know
it
what?
get you?
But you know what, to Danelle? I think that I'm like this. If you're in your 40s and you want a kid, this is where you come as a mature individual and look at life like this. You have a good friend. You and this friend go back like umpteen years. The friend is a productive member of society, and you're like, hey, friend, let me get a little you together. You know what I'm saying? Let me get a little you together. You know what I'm saying? And these are the terms of this. And this is how we're going to raise this child. You understand? So then you're still getting what you want, but you're not getting the entire package. But you know that the friend now is going to hold up their end of the bargain and deal with a child like if y'all were together. And in fact, y'all might even end up together anyway. I've had several friends that have done this because they wanted children. I'm just saying. So don't make it seem like if like you're like, oh yeah, like I gotta run out there and get some bum, and you go get a bum, and then the friggin' child ain't gonna see the father anyway. That don't make no sense. That kind of defeats the purpose. So find somebody who y'all are like on the same wavelength and have a time with them. I know it's a little progressive. I'm sorry, but I'm just
Karen, Karen said, Lucian Downs, I wish I did that. God knows.
see. I'm just like, yeah.
Karen, let me do an air high five because honestly, I understand where Lucian coming from because at the end of the day, like my decisions you know, my early decision. I have two kids, right? But my first decision, man, I might as well have done that. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, so I mean, I don't knock what you're saying, Lucy, and everything is an option, I guess, in this world today. You know, but my heart does go out to a lot of people who don't have, you know, children. I see so many people. So many people. Cause time just went like this. It's like we thought we had a lot of time. We thought we had time, and now it's like, what? We there in our 40s? Shoot. You know, so time is going really fast. So we gotta, you know, make those decisions and
So
just
you
pray
want
that it
more
all
kids, man,
pans
or you
out.
don't want more kids? You want more kids?
No, no more children for me.
Okay,
I
so you get
wanted
time.
up
So
until
you
a
get
year
time.
ago, I wanted more. I did. Ask Debbie. I wanted to go for that son, but there was so I'm okay now.
Okay.
I can't relate, so I quiet. So that's why I quiet because I don't understand a lot, but that's because I don't understand. So
Well, you don't understand, Pinky. Talk to us, Pink. Come on, lean in, boo.
I just saying I don't understand. So I don't understand everything, you know.
You
So
know, the thing about it is, if you've been in a relationship for like 30 years, 27 years, you know, you have been out of the game for a long
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
So the game done switched from since you were 18, my girl. It's
my,
done. The
my daughter
mode of,
tells me that every single day. She
yeah,
tells me that every day.
it
So
done shifted long time. So the thing about it is like, and it's gonna be harder for you because you came from a time where it's like, you know, courting was still something. You know what I'm saying? To a time where it's just like, you know, pretty much a hookup culture, and you know, until you get tired of it, or you find somebody who tired of it too, and then y'all just like, I remember I had some friends, right? It was so funny, like this couple, they're like some collectors of mine, and so she's like a big executive, and he's like an executive as well. And they went out like on 2 days, and they've been like, listen, I don't want to date anymore. Let's get married. And she was like, yeah. And he was like, yeah. They got married and they had 3 kids, and they're still together. You know what I'm saying? Because both of them wanted the same thing. It's like we ain't wasting no more time, and happily married. You check because they all, you know, they have the same um they just have the same wants and needs. So why waste time? But for you to
Ayo, this show got me feeling punky. I don't know if I just feeling punky or the fun in my face, but Pinky was talking and that's why I cry. Pinky, I feel you, the man. Like I don't know if it's I get a fan blowing in my face. I don't know if it's a fan causing water to well up in
I
my eye
think
or
come on.
I'm
No,
we're gonna be all right, Pink.
I think I quite convinced I'm gonna be okay. I'm more than convinced I'm gonna be okay. Um, Dating topic is not my topic because I don't have much experience in it. So
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I don't think dating necessarily is because, like, okay, I've been on 100 dates. Does that make me better at dating? Not necessarily. So,
I think so. I think because you've been on 100 dates, you are much better knowledgeable about dating than somebody who only been on two.
no, I'm a lot knowledgeable about picking up on dumb stuff quicker because
That's
hmm
I
that's still
chose,
knowledge and experience. That's still knowledge
yeah.
and
But
experience.
again, I didn't want to date 100 people either. I didn't want to go on 100 dates. Let me not say date 100 people. I didn't want to go.
You've been on 98 more dates more than me. And so you have a lot of information on the topic, which I truly do not.
Yeah,
I don't.
but I still don't. I mean, there's little things that I can bring to the table, but at the same, I would never call myself an expert because I too was in a relationship for 30 years
Well, I
and
think
came
you
out
should
and
call
started
yourself an
dating.
expert. Don't downplay yourself. You're an expert.
I'm a I'm
I
a
think
I'm an expert in what way?
ain't
Seeing
no way somebody could. If I bake 98 cakes, believe me, I am good at baking cakes. It's just,
yeah,
my
but
mother
you're
always
also
my mother
meeting
used to say
different
practice
people.
makes perfect.
That's true, but you're also meeting people at different stages in their life with different um agendas. Um yeah, so I've had the experience. I've been out on a bunch of dates and
So who says dating is like window shopping? Swipe left, swipe right. This is
Karen.
what
Karen,
Who you
Karen,
think? Who you think?
Karen, I wish Karen was on the show. Karen, I wish you were on the show. You have more experience than me.
Karen Ross has done it, the man.
Yeah, that's the
Gotta love
expert on
Karen.
dating.
Yes.
Yep,
She's the
yep.
expert. But I
He's
mean,
the
this
expert.
this conversation was more not necessarily about actually dating. This was about more about, are you ready to date? How do you
Ready.
know
True.
that you're ready to date?
True.
What have you done to prepare yourself? If you are ready to date, have you prepared yourself? Have you healed from the past relationship or relationship? Because now you're bringing that into dating someone. But the actual knowing how to date, that's Karen's. She have a PhD in that. But at the end of the day, we have to, again, I think it all really boils down to being intentional about it and not just doing it because you're doing it. But again, some people are just dating just to date, just to meet people, just to go out. Again, COVID, I'm sure, has changed that a little bit. Um, but it's what your ulterior motive is for the dating also. So that's why you all are in the conversation, not because we're asking what is dating like, but are you ready to date? And if you're not, why not? If you are ready, what did you do to prepare yourself? Because even though you prepare yourself, you're still working on stuff. So you're never going to be fully prepared regardless.
And you're always
Um,
gonna be working on stuff. You're
you
always
should
gonna be
be. No,
working on.
you should
You
be, because
should be
ain't
always.
everybody always walking on stuff.
Yeah, it's a lifelong thing because again, what I've heard and I see my parents, 50 years of marriage, you always got to make adjustments because when people grow and go through different seasons of their life, things change. And so you have to make adjustments for all of those things. So you're constantly working on this thing. I will say though, guys, I am, even though I'm not dating or anything like that, I am so looking forward to, just to spin it off a little bit. I'm really looking forward to that time in my life, and I think about it, and it makes me feel beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think about it, and I kind of daydream, and let my mind drift sometimes. And I am looking forward to meeting my lifelong mate, my husband, and going through that process together of dating and doing things together, getting to know one another or whatever. Like, I am looking forward to
You're
that.
such a romantic. But you
I'm a
setting
hope.
you're setting your intentions when you say that.
I am. I am. And
I
so I
know
am
that's
looking
what I'm
forward
saying.
to
You're
that.
setting your
Yeah.
intention.
Yeah.
Wait, let me say something. Karita said, what if you're intentional but rejected? Then you move on. This is Karita, let me tell you something. The way I
Hey,
look at that
Greenie.
is be intentional. If you get rejected, the God I serve knew I wasn't supposed to be in that situation. And that's how I
Correct.
handle it. Because what we think we want might not be the best thing for us. So again, it's perspective and how you look on it. We're in a world where so many people, and although you have this limited, or you feel like time is ticking, if again, that's where my faith and intention comes in, because like everybody used to laugh at me because I know for me, I don't make the best decisions. So I have to have something visually that when people come around, I can say, mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. Because in the past, I did have my list and I saw like, well, they don't really have this and they don't really have that. And again, it wasn't physical. And by the way, Lucy, and I'm going to share it with you and Louis, it wasn't physical. It was about the person's heart, about how they're going to, how they are with their family, how they are with their kids, what is their relationship with God, because I have a relationship. I have a crazy faith. And so that was important to me. And so I had to have a visual, something to look at, because if it's up to me, like Lucian like to say, oh, okay, yes, I did it. Many of people that were 6 foot, and what did that land me? So
Mhm.
I can't go, you got those. I can't go based on me, right? So that's where, for me, Karita, that's how I look at intention and rejection. Cece said, is it possible to be open to making connections with others and not be open to dating? I believe in that too. because part of that is getting to know who you are as well as getting to know other people. And and this is what I had to learn, everybody who comes in our life was not meant to be a life partner.
Yeah.
Sometimes they were brought into our life for us to learn something about life, about ourselves, about how to fix your car, but they weren't necessarily brought into your life to be in a relationship. And I think we also have to be aware of that as well.
And
Denise wrote, go ahead.
so let me piggyback on her question as well. I
Mhm.
think that the key is have a lot of friends, have a lot of male friends. You know what I'm saying? Now, when you have a lot of male friends, you learn from them and you actually get to know them. So that in your mind, like, okay, me and this guy is cool. Let's see how it goes, and you continue getting to know them and be a friend. And then I noticed that most friendships, turn into very good relationships because you know those people. A certain gentleman would always say, like, be friends first, be friends first. You know what I'm saying? And that's true. And you should be friends first because then that's where you find that bond, and and then you're willing to, like, you know what, I can talk to this person about anything. Why not make her my woman? Why not make her my man? You know what I'm saying? A
Make
man
him my mind.
God's protection. Oh,
Um, Denise wrote, I think you'll know you're ready when you are no longer affected by old scars, happy with who and where you are within yourself and no longer scarred. When you trust yourself to see through the fake and make good choices. Karita also wrote, I wrote down deal breakers. I'm in my mid 40s. I took the time to find myself. I learned what makes me happy and what I won't compromise on. Karen says practice makes perfect and life is an everlasting journey for growth. Use dating as a tool and more a destination. Karita said, yes, I see it as that was God saying, girl, nah, you good. Don't waste your time. um, Karen also said, man's rejection is God's protection. Um, Nicole said, yes, where is he? LOL. And finally, Karita said, what I hate is why are you still single? As if something is wrong with me. I am single because I am taking my time. And that's another thing. I think people think because you're single, or even some people think there's something wrong with me, but I think we need to take being single as a time to really just enjoy life, find out who you are, find out what you like, so that when that person does come in, you're not doing things to please that person, you're doing things to as well please yourself, because now you've taken that time to get to know who you are, what you like to do, work in your purpose, work on your business, work on relationships within your family, within your friends. Use that quiet time to work on you and your stuff. And when people saying why you single, I realize is a projection of them. It has nothing to do with you. And that's again perspective. You were saying something?
Fina,
Not,
just listen, my
I
dog.
actually, I
Take your
actually,
notes. Take your notes.
Karen said, girl, my tagline is I'm single, not desperate. So
yeah.
again, it's all
You know,
perspective.
I hear the single. I have a lot of I have it's a lot of single women out here. A lot, especially in the Black community. There's a lot of single women, and we don't know how to approach this dating thing. But I really don't have any advice on it, so I quite quiet tonight. But I do believe that the time that we spend by ourselves, we reflect and we get to a place in our life where we have to be open to share our life. I think that's most important. Like, you have to be open, willing to share your life, because I hear a lot of sisters saying they're single but they ain't willing to share. Like, I taking care of myself, I doing for myself, I don't need nobody. And I don't know if that's the attitude that I'm going to attract. It could be. You see, I don't want to say too much on it because I don't know. To me, I have to come out on the other side to give advice. So I done this side of it and I don't have much experience. But for me, I feel like you have to get to a place where you know yourself and you're comfortable with yourself. and you're comfortable with the things then that you enjoy in life and the things you don't enjoy in life, and you okay with it. You okay with sharing your life, your space with someone. Lucian was talking about sex, and I mean, I don't know. I can't say about what people options are. I mean, somebody might just want to hook up for the night. I've heard people going on dates because I've heard guys saying things like girls just want a free dinner or a free lunch. Like it's so crazy out here with this whole dating thing that I don't even know where to go. And then men are dating so much. My daughter would have been perfect for this show. Men are dating so much they don't even want to pay for the meal anymore because they got multiple dates. Like again,
Why it boils down to why people are even contemplating dating again. What
right?
is the reason?
It's
I mean,
you.
woman is
I think it starts with the individual. You know, it starts with the individual themselves, and when you move forward, and what comes after that. Like, you will meet people, they ain't your match, they ain't the right person. Then, like Karen said, you swipe to the well, you won't swipe because you're out on a date already. But to me, you chuck it up as a life experience. That's all I could say.
So let's it has this little. Some people choose to be single because some men out there don't know what they want.
but you
Now,
shouldn't be choosing to be single for what other people are or are not
exactly.
doing.
Let's discuss that. Let's discuss that. This is a comment where it's like you don't know your own power. That's a comment. Like, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but my thing is you shouldn't care what a man wants. You know what I'm saying? It needs to be what you want and what, in fact, both of y'all want. It's supposed to be a team effort.
Well,
That's
I
what people.
think that the dating point is no team effort. Like team effort is marriage commitment, committed relationship. Dating, like you saying, Lucian, honey, if he doesn't know what he wants, then you don't want him. Because
Right.
if you know what you want, then you ain't got no time for somebody who don't know what they want, especially at this
Exactly.
stage in our life. Like so,
Exactly. So
again, go
don't
ahead,
give him
Lucian.
that power. Like, don't give him that power. You know, if you once again, people think that the questioning is kind of like, like we shouldn't question, but certain things like, what do you want out of life? What is your plan? Do you want to be in a by you finding out these things, then you will know exactly where you stand. But to say that man don't know what they want, dudes know what they want. From the time a dude meets you, he know exactly how far he want to take you. Trust and believe.
I agree.
You know what I'm
You know,
saying?
I
It
would,
could it could shift as time goes by, as in like learning different things about you. Some things they mightn't like and be like, okay, my direction kind of shifting off. But usually, if a dude see promise in you, you know what I'm saying? He see that you could come and do his books for his business, get him grants and different things. You know what I'm saying? Those are
She's a
stuff that,
keeper. She's a
yeah,
keeper.
he's a keeper. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you see, you're like, what? This person doing okay, because you know what that's called? It's called an asset. It's an asset. Men love assets.
okay,
Women
yeah,
love assets.
yeah, Lucian, but women have to be careful too because, yeah, some women are such assets that man live off of them. Like, let me be honest. Like, come on.
No, 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 no. But
That's
but
true
let me
too,
tell you this.
Pinky.
A
Yep.
woman, another thing, I believe another thing with moving forward in dating is a woman have to protect herself, or a man, whoever is
That
dating, protect
that
yourself.
but the
Because,
thing but Pinky,
go ahead,
if
Lucian.
somebody is using you, you don't know that? You can't feel somebody using you?
Okay, Lucian.
No,
Okay.
I'm just saying. Debbie,
Lucian,
can you feel somebody
I hear
using
what
you?
you're saying, but okay, I hear what you're saying. But the
Go
thing
ahead.
is, some women have allowed men to use them for years.
And some women are conscious of it and they're okay with being used. They just want somebody next to them in the bed at night.
Exactly.
They just want to set a damn man. They're okay with the usury.
And men too. Not the dudes, none of these charters. They know these charters. You're putting kids through school. They know this. And they're good with it. Because
Yeah.
I get candy, I got a woman that is cook and clean for me. And they're good with it. They are happy.
You have dating though. You gone in relationship again.
No, but I'm just saying.
We
Just
talking
saying.
about dating. We confusing it,
I am
Wait, let
not.
me,
Go ahead,
because
go
we only have like a little bit more time. Cece said, key to our marriage is the friendship from which we stepped off in the marriage. From which we stepped off in the marriage direction. We had no clue about who we would be or become, but we always trusted, again, the friend connection.
friend. See?
Um, Karen said,
All
yep.
right.
And many
Friend.
men feel they are outnumbered, and this man-woman ratio has them believing they have options. Well, everybody's clock is ticking, and when they out there playing duck duck goose, some women are out there fixing them. That was Karen.
That's true.
Karen also said, I'm single and I love it. I know exactly what I want down to the hairstyle. Dust settles, queens don't. And I know my king is out there. So in the meantime, window shopping is the order of the day. Cece said, this is the power that is given away. Are you willing to share the best of you in exchange for the least of the other?
That's good. That's good. I feel like when a woman truly know who she is and she shows up on the date, Karen, I wish you were here, but like me and Karen were talking the last time about socks, right? And everybody was see, there you go, Lucian. But the thing is, people think, oh, it's about the socks. It's not about the socks. It's what does the socks say about the person? This is why I say you have to pay attention. You could sit down there with your list and you could go down it all night, and the evidence is right in front of you. So my thing with the socks was, these are some really outdated socks from the 80s, right? Like, why are you still wearing socks from the 80s? Are it because you cheap? Is it because you got hole in your socks? You can't wash socks for 20 years and they ain't get no holes. So you got to you got to watch certain things about a person. Why are you this way? How you are with me on the date? How are you talking to me? How are you showing up? These is little things, but it'll speak volumes to me. So that's why me and Karen were talking about socks, but it's not about the socks. It's not about the socks. It's about how is the person, how do they treat themselves? Like you said, if you see this in the beginning, and this person, you can't see the holes because, saying the person had holes, I'm just saying. So then how is that going to show up in a relationship? Do I want to be with somebody who got socks from the 1980s? Do I want to be in a relationship with a person like that? No.
Do I want to be in a relationship with a woman who buy me socks every Christmas? Do I want to?
Look, just like men like to watch women, they love to see us. You said it the other day. You love when a woman go to Victoria's Secret. You remember you said that? You remember?
Why are you bringing
Anyway,
conversation?
You said it, and I want me to. You was like, I love when a woman go to Victoria's Secret. Well, there is no Victoria's Secrets for women, but women. I gonna ask all of you women out there, don't you like to see your men in nice underwears, nice socks, nice underwears, or do you want it to show up in some tight, what do they call them, tighty whities with holes in it? Oh, get out of here! Oh, get out of here!
We're dating.
Even in the dating, because if you dating, let me say this: if you dating and you bend over and I could see your underwears, or you're wearing pants that's so low that I could see your underwears and I could see this, I ain't going back with you. I don't care what you said, Karen. I wish you were here with me. I wish you were here. That's all I saying. Okay. Our underwears count, yours should count too. So talk about the socks if you want. A man is very attractive in some very nice socks with some very nice shoes and some very nice underwears, to be quite honest with you. Huh?
All right. Anyway, Debbie.
Okay. Well, I want to thank everybody for commenting and being engaged in this conversation. And I want to again thank all the panelists that have been here contributing, whether you think you contributed or not. Um, and we will be letting you all know what our next topic will be next week. I want everybody to please stay safe, social distance, wear your mask, stay safe with this whole election thing going on. For those of you, especially in the continental United States. And again, thank you for your comments. Please, if you have more comments, put them in the feed as well, because we can take this conversation a little further, but we want to wrap this up since we've been here about an hour and a half. Anybody want to say anything else?
Thank you for tuning in. Thank you.
I just want to say, for those of you, whatever it is your stance is, whatever it is your heart is telling you, if you want to date, if you're ready to date, just prepare. That's all I'm saying. Prepare. Whether or not you have to write a list, these are the things that you're looking for. Then start writing your list. Write your list, read your list, pray over your list. Do what you got to do. If you
sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
Just
go ahead.
pretty much just be in preparation. Be in expectancy. That's a faith aspect of it. You want something and you believe that you deserve it, and that's what you want for your life, then prepare for it. Be in expectancy for it. So things like, oh, I want a man that he's strong and he built nice and strong or whatever. What I mean, if you want a strong up man, 9 times out of 10, that strong up man gonna like food, right? So start to kind of work on your little dishes and walk up on your food thing,
But also more than likely, if he's very concerned about his body, he's gonna want somebody who is showing up that way too. So make sure that you're showing up the way and in the ways you want someone to show up for you.
And use the bike that he buy for you. If he buy you a bike, use it. Use the bike.
Amen.
I hate this show sometimes. I
would like to say also that I think before anybody even tries to move on, you need to deal with your brokenness. Yeah. You also need to make sure that this thought about jumping from one to the other, that is such a broken way of thinking. And here is Louis in the next 3 minutes before the show.
I am so sorry. I'm sorry. I just got home. I know I was. I'm so sorry. I just came back today. My mom had a surprise 80th birthday party. How's everybody doing? What did I miss?
Happy belated birthday.
You missed a lot.
Yes. Are we still talking about dating? Because I mean, let's talk about it. Is it
we have 1 minute, Louis.
Wow. My view on dating, I mean, go for it. Go for it. Just know that the dating process, it's it's trying to do it's kind of research of source, I think, when you're dating individuals, because you don't know what you're gonna get unless you try it out. Now, some people actually seek this. You guys are in my position. I'm gonna just let it happen. It's always good to have guidelines, though. You need to know what you want, what you like, and what you want to be with or be around with. Definitely have that in place. Keep that in the back of your mind when you're going forward and doing this. But I mean, you the only way to find out is to trial and error. As with most things in life, you trial and error. It's my position. I'm sorry for being so late, but go ahead, Lucien.
And Louis is also gonna come and scroll through and answer all your questions that were put into the comments since you've been late.
So I'm not sure that, but we can try. We can see what we can do about that.
Listen, guys, before we jump off of this live, I don't know if Norma's on here, but I just want to big up Norma. Guys, if you are on St. Croix and you looking for pasteles, Norma got the baddest pasteles on island. I went and pick up. Norma, how much did I pick up? You got pork, chicken, she got all kind of pasteles. Listen, the bomb. They're delicious. So I just want to big up Norma. If y'all want pasteles, that's your go-to. Just holler in her inbox. She gonna hook you up.
Definitely. And she's from Paquitos, by the way. Norma from Paquitos. You know exactly who we are.
So that's good stuff.
Yep, so definitely.
Norma, you may need to mail some up to me.
I wanted to add before we tune off, ladies, if you go out with anyone or guys and you don't get a good feeling from them, don't push the issue. That's
Oh,
very
definitely. Don't force it at all. Like I said, let it happen naturally. I mean, and if it's not supposed to be, then let it go.
it's not supposed to be.
The best part about it, the best part about dating is fresh. Is just so you don't have any obligations. Let that shit go. Step to the next. You know what I mean? It's that simple.
Be friends. Be
That's
friends.
it.
Friends, or
That's
even
it.
you might go on a date with somebody you don't even want to be their friend with. That's okay. Don't be their friend either.
Just
But
ghost
again,
them.
use it as research. Use it to get information before you make a decision going forward.
Definitely. And you
Okay.
know the one most important thing that I've been talking about from day one. Have that conversation.
We talked about that as well.
Have that
Exactly.
conversation.
Exactly. We had that.
Well,
Most
thank
of us
you.
be
We had
friends.
that conversation. Don't worry about it. We had that conversation.
Wonderful. Thank you, Pinky. I'm sure that you took care of that.
She sure
Well,
did.
Thank you,
Wonderful.
everyone, again. And like I said, please stay safe, stay healthy, social distance, wear your mask, wash your hands, because this thing is not over anytime soon. I wish everybody the best and have a great weekend. Take care.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Take care, folks. Have a good one. Sorry for being late. Ouch.
Okay, your mother was